YouTubers and gamers, and I'm back with another collection video. And yeah, it's a nice mix of games, accessories, and I actually have a console to show you today. So without further delay, let's get started. Alright, now for a while I've been wanting a Famicom, but I was in two minds of which one to get. I was thinking of getting a top loader, ideally boxed, and they're quite uncommon, they are, and I saw one in Japan for about £150, which was a lot of money really. But then I was doing a bit more research into it, and I thought about what about getting a normal Famicom and the disc system as well, so I can play some disc games. And I was looking into that, and then I obviously came across this little bad boy. This is a box. This is for the Famicom Twin, made by Sharp. And this is for the second model. They made two models basically, Sharp did, which basically combines your normal Famicom with the disc system just here. And this one has been refurbished, had a new belt put in. This is the second model that Sharp did. The first model was slightly different designed body, had shorter wires and didn't have turbo functions on the buttons. Whereas these have got longer wires and have the turbo functions on the buttons, which are quite useful really. And what's good about this system, which is better than a Famicom, it's got proper AV out, it has, as opposed to just like the RF connectors and stuff really. So, you know, I think that's a pretty nice system actually. I haven't had a chance to play it yet because I've ordered a a step down power converter from Japan, because in Japan they run natively on 100 volts, whereas in the UK and Europe we're about 240. I know in America you're 110 volts, which is a bit closer to what a Japanese one off, but it's we're still way too high, so I don't use this over here because I'll just fry it. So I'm gonna have to. I've ordered a step down converter, so I'll be able to use it then. But I got this with all boxed and complete, with one game that came with it as part of a bundle, and that is Mario Golf Japanese course. There's also a Mario Golf USA course, but this is a better one because Mario actually looks like Mario, whereas in the other game he looks a bit like a I don't know, a gay bowler or something, I don't know. But yeah, so that's that came with it, and these disc games are pretty neat. They're all complete. They come with a little diskette, manual, and a nice outer case as well really, so they're quite neat, they are. So all in all, including delivery, what was £110 for the basic unit and the game, and it's about another £60 for delivery, so it's about £170 in the end. And I also ordered another game for, this wasn't a lot of money, this is about £15 delivered from Japan, and it's SD Gundam Gachapon Senshi Scramble Wars. Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue, but it's a nice little cutie Gundam game, so I'm looking forward to having a go at that. While we're still playing with games and stuff, showing in the background there's a survival horror called Hydrophobia, and it was ported to the Xbox 360 and also the PlayStation 3. Now, the PlayStation 3 version is called Hydrophobia Prophecy, and it also came out on PC. And this is a version to get. Now, unfortunately, it's not released on a physical format on a PS3, unfortunately, or the Xbox 360. It's only digital download. And it's quite cheap at PlayStation Network at the moment. We got PS3, this is only £2. But I wanted a physical format, so I was able to get a physical copy on a PC from Germany. And this was only about £7 including shipping, so it's as cheap as chips, as they say. So that's Hydrophobia Prophecy, and basically it's a good survival horror. It's all set in a underwater station, and basically you're just an employee who ends up working on a long day because all hell takes over, and there's terrorists and all sorts of things going on apparently, but it's supposed to be a really good game. So if you got PS3, certainly download it. It's only £2 off the PlayStation Network, and but I'm glad to have a physical format even if it's only PC. Okay, turning to 3DS. From CX today I got, not CX, Cash Converters, it was Puzzle Bobble Universe. That was only £5, all complete. And for £16 it had Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, all complete. Okay, turning to the PSP from Japan. This was about this is about £21 including shipping. It's one Shambala Special. So it's based on the one Shambala series, or also known as Zombie Hunters. And basically you play as a choice of scantily clad Japanese girls who go around killing zombies. Nothing more of that. So it's nice to have that game on the PSP. It's a Japanese exclusive. Turning to the PS3, I've got another Atelier game, Atelier Rona Plus, the Alchemist of Ireland. This is a separate game to just a plain ordinary Alchemist of Ireland. It's got a few extra bits. This has. This wasn't a lot of money. This is about I think I got it off eBay for about a tenner with shipping. For £5 from CX I got today Pro Evolution Soccer 2015. I tend to go for all the PES games because they're Konami and stuff. Get them when they're cheap. This game, I forgot to put a case on this. This is only £3 from a charity shop. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I think it's supposed to be an okay platforming type game. Well, I say platforming, it's more like a 3D platforming adventure. Okay, this game is another Japanese exclusive. There's a Galgun, came to PS4, but before that it was on PS3. And this is the original PS3 game, which was about £23 including shipping from Japan. Got that from eBay. And basically with Galgun, basically you sort of shoot hearts at girls, and as you do that they sort of you sort of aim at their private bits, and I don't know if clothes comes off or something like that. It probably does. It's one of those many pervy Japanese games which you've got to get, really, haven't you? Okay, that was, like I said, about £21 or something like that. Okay, turn to PS4. This is quite hard to get, actually. I'm not seeing this in the shops, but I've managed to get a brand new copy off eBay for £30. And it's Star Wars Battlefront, and this is the Ultimate Edition, which has all the Season Pass and all the DLC and everything, which is, so it's the one to get, really, because it's cheaper to get that than it is to buy a Season Pass and stuff. At least you get a physical copy of a game to show for it as well. So that's nice. Also, another shooter just released. I think this is about £15 or £16 off Amazon. Sub-Level Zero Redux. And this came from game.co.uk. I think it's about £27. It is the Little Nightmares 6th edition. So it's a bit of an indie developed game. Sort of indie horror, but it's got really cool, nice looking graphics. I don't know if you can make it out there. But this one comes with a figurine of a encounter, exclusive poster, and some stickers, and a comic strip book, and an original soundtrack CD. So it's not bad. Okay. Turning to the Saturn, I've got some reproductions. The reason why I got reproductions of these games is that if I've got the original copies of these, it would probably cost me in the region of about £1,000. Now, I didn't fancy spending that sort of money on these games, especially as they play perfectly fine on my Saturn. They're professionally produced covers and discs and stuff, so they really are, you know, really good quality reproductions. And so these cost me about 15 quid each, so 60 quid instead of £1,000. I think it's a good deal. First of all, we've got Magical Night Dreams Cotton 2. This version of Cotton is absolutely gorgeous. It's really beautiful. It's out of all the Cotton games, this is probably one of the ones to get. This is. So that's that. And then some more shooters. We got Steam Hearts, another beautiful Japanese Saturn shooter. Batsugan. And last but not least, I have this on the PS4 in terms of a special limited edition digital download with a collector's box and everything. But I wanted the Saturn copy anyway, and so I've got Battle Gregor reproduction on the Saturn. I will one day get the original of this, but it's going to cost me about £150 when I do. So, but that really is one of my favourite shooters, I would say. Battle Gregor. If you've not played it, just try to play it by whatever means. You'll enjoy it. It's a good top-down bullet hell shooter. It's really good. Okay. Turning to a Dreamcast, I've got some original games. I have got here, it was about £30 from a seller in Italy. It's a Japanese copy of Project Justice Rival Schools. I do have a reproduction of this as well, but it's nice to have the original, but I'll probably just stick to playing the reproductions, so I won't cause any harm to that copy. Also got Godzilla Generations Maximum Impact. I showed the first game in the last video. This is like the sequel. This was about, I think this was about £15 again, including shipping from Japan, quite cheap. This game was super cheap, including postage. It was about £11 from Japan, but Tarping of the Dead. Now, obviously, this is in Japanese language. The American copy of this is super expensive, so I already have a copy of this of a reproduction, so I got a copy I can play anyway in English, but I still wanted the original copy of the game, and so a Japanese copy was much cheaper than getting the American copy. Okay, this other game next is probably my second favourite shooter of all time. It is Giga Rings 2. This is a Japanese copy. Cost me £45 including shipping from Japan. Another great shooter. I do have a reproduction of this as well, which I'll probably stick to playing with. But like I said before, I just really wanted a copy of this, and this is, like I said, it's about 45 quid. So one of the cheaper Saturn games compared to some. I'm not Saturn Dreamcast games, but it's still one to have. The first Giga Rings on Dreamcast is good as well. I do have an English copy of that. And also Giga Rings Generations on the PS2, which is the game at sharp in value too. I've got that as well. So Giga Rings, very good. Okay. While we're still on a Dreamcast, this is a reproduction. Cost me 15 quid. It is Caution Seaman. I do have a microphone, which came with one of my other Dreamcast games, and you do need a microphone for this game. This is one that's obviously in English, narrated by Leonard Nimoy with Lake Spock. This game never got released in the UK for some reason, so it only got released in Japan and the States. But what you may not realise as well is that it was actually ported in Japan to PlayStation 2. And what's neat about this edition, it comes with its own specialist controller. made by XKey, and includes a sort of built-in mic. Just trying to see if I've got a little picture of it somewhere here. I don't want to open it up because it's pretty like minty, almost like sealed. Tell you what, there was a sequel to Seaman as well, which only came out in Japan, and that's obviously Seaman 2, Don't Panic. So in the first game you sort of grow Seaman from being a little tadpole to being a mammal, a little baby mammal that climbs onto land. This carries on from that game finishes off until he becomes like a Neanderthal caveman type character, really. But here's a picture of a controller. This obviously has got a control with it as well. I don't know if you can make it out just there. It's a specialist controller. See, with a built-in mic as well. And this is one. This version's not been opened at all. Both pretty mint. Both these games, including shipping from Japan, were about £60. I doubt there's options to listen to these games in English. So it's more for a collection as opposed to actually for playing, unfortunately. Okay, turning to the PlayStation 2, I have another Atelier game. There's 3 Atelier games that came out in the West on the PS2, and this is Atelier Iris 2. This includes a bonus soundtrack CD, and this was about I think I got this for about £22 off eBay, which is a good price. There's 2 other games on the PS2 which I've got to get for that. Now this game is a Japanese import, and I wonder if you guys can guess what it is. Now looking at that, you probably think, oh, it looks like Bruce Willis out of Die Hard. Well, it actually is a PS2 port of Dynamite Cop. Now we had Dynamite Cop that came out on a Dreamcast, but this did get ported out to PlayStation 2 in Japan. Again, I haven't tried it yet, see if there's you know, you can listen to it much in English or not. But to be honest, this is one of those games that doesn't matter too much. You can pretty much go along and just enjoy a game, because it's about basically beating everything up as you go along, really. A nice little scrapping type game, but very good all the same. It's nice to have a PS2 copy of that. And that was this was about a bit more money. This was about £31, including shipping from Japan. Okay, last but not least, got some more old school games to show you. On Nintendo 64, I picked up the sequel to this in the last video, but this is the first one. Formula 1 Grand Prix, including shipping. This cost me about, I think it's about £9 or £10 off eBay, all complete with the manual, quite cheap. Then today in CX, this was £12, but I had about £6 worth of store credits. It cost me about £6, and it's Wonder Boy 3 Monster Layer. Or Monsters Layers, that's it. Monsters Layers. No, just Monster Layer. So that's all complete, including the manual. Original Mega Drive game. And from AliExpress, I got this reproduction Mega Drive. It is Panorama Cotton. Comes with a reproduction manual and disc, cartridge, and it's pretty nice reproductions. These are. This was £9, including shipping from Japan or China, wherever it was. One of those two anyway. Took about about 4 weeks getting to me, but it's still well worth the wait. This game, if you was to get an original copy, will cost you megabucks. I think it's one of those games that almost about £100 type thing, really, all complete. So it's not a cheap game, and it's probably not one of the best games that would warrant spending that sort of money on. It's sort of a third person's perspective of Cotton, so it's supposed to see a side view of the character. You sort of behind her as you go up and down, so it sort of plays a bit like Space Harrier. Okay, last but not least is my last game, and this game I have to show you is one of the most it is the #1 most expensive game I bought on the PlayStation. the original PlayStation. It is super rare. It never came out to the West. It's a Japanese game. There's not really a language barrier in it. It's one of those games that there's very little Japanese text in it, so you can play it without knowing Japanese really. It is it's like a platform adventure game, but it's got really great graphics and well worth looking at on YouTube. But if you collect for a PlayStation, this is one of those games that you'd probably be tempted to import if you like the look of it. And trust me, if you look at this on eBay, you'll probably think, "God, that's a beautiful game. I wouldn't mind playing that." But it's super rare. Some people pay as much as some copies of this go as much as £250 on eBay. I got this off a seller in, was it Italy or Spain, one or two, for about £180. So I managed to get it for Slimed It Full, which is still a hell of a lot of money for a PlayStation game, but it's still a lot cheaper than £250. And I'm really glad to have it in the collection. Like I said, it's a super rare game, and it is Adventures of Little Ralph. So yeah, it's a really cool game to have. I'm really happy to have that. Okay. Right guys, so that's it really. That's all my pickups for this week. So as always, like and subscribe if not already, and leave any messages. And until next time, take care and bye.